Rise up. Yee! We getting it, boy.
What's good? You know who it is. It's your boy, Jay in the Bay.
Your baller back again. Smells like football season. Yo. Whoa.
Faithful Niner Empire. What's good? You know who it is. It's your boy, Jay in the Bay. And welcome back. Welcome back, faithful Niner Empire, to Straight Out of the Bay. How is everyone doing tonight? Hopefully everyone is doing well. Of course, we have Celts Chronicles with me tonight. How are you doing tonight, Celts?
I'm doing great, man. Just another victory Monday. I know we haven't played since a little while ago, but hey, man, it's a victory. It's a victory, and we can continue to celebrate it no matter what day it is. So glad to be here, man. How you doing?
Yeah, hey, absolutely. I'm doing excellent. And we wish Amin the Dream and Bay Area Baller well. They had some other obligations they had to attend to, but we know that they are here in spirit. And we will be hearing from Bay Area Baller later on in the show. But a huge shout out to everyone who's tuned into the stream, whether you're watching it on Jay in the Bay YouTube channel, Celts Chronicles YouTube channel, or Straight Out of the Bay YouTube channel. And if you haven't, make sure you check out Straight Out of the Bay on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. And we also have IG, Twitter with Straight Out of the Bay. So make sure you check out that as well. This is, of course, an interactive show. We will be chopping it up with the chat and answering questions in there as well. But first, I got to start off with Celts. Have you finished your Christmas shopping? Are you all done with that, or what's the update on that, man?
Man, we are. Man, we have finished. Typically, we do wait till the last second and be scrambling around, but each year gets better. Each year has gotten better, man. You know, we got, combined, we got 4 kids, and they're getting older and they're getting easier and more simple, and so yeah, man, everything's set up, man. I got the yard all lit up with lights, and I got Olaf out there, the Grinch. Who else? I got Christmas Jack. I got Jack out there, some lights, and all the presents, all the stocking stuffers. Everything is all good.
Hey, man, that sounds excellent, man. I'm like you. I usually wait till the last minute, but this year I wanted to start a new trend and get it done a little bit sooner. So, yeah, always good around this time to spend time with your family, and hopefully everyone that's in the chat can do that. And hug your loved ones a little bit tighter, because you never know. You never know. But holiday season, always a good time to be with family. And the Straight Out of the Bay family welcomes everyone here. I gotta say, what's good to everyone that's in the chat right now. We have Raphael 5629ers. Appreciate you for tuning in to the stream tonight. We have Bryant Cope in the building. We also have David V. Hope everyone is doing well on a Monday night. We've got a lot of topics we're going to hit on tonight. But first, we have to start off with the San Francisco 49ers are NFC West champions. This is only the second time that's happened in the Shanahan era out of 6 seasons. Exactly.
Throw it in there, man. Let's go.
Exactly, man. So what were your initial thoughts, knowing that, hey, if we beat the Seattle Seahawks on Thursday night football prime time, that the 49ers would be NFC West champions. And we would also, that would basically clinch our playoff berth, and we would have at least one home game. So what were your thoughts on that, especially from where this team came from in the beginning of the season?
Hey, man, that's exactly how I was gonna start it. It's like, man, just everything we've been through or everything the team has been through, and us fans too. We've been the highs, the lows, the middle, and I'm a stupid emotional person, so I go through those highs and lows, but it also teaches me a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I'm more invested this year, doing this YouTube thing and being social and stuff than I ever have been. And so, man, just everything, just all of it. It was Brock Purdy's first primetime game. It was Brock Purdy's first road game, in the red and gold, and just all of it. Seattle has always lightweight owned us for, maybe the past decade. So just all of it, man. The whole entire faithful, they are riding, it feels like harder than I've ever seen them ride, as far as traveling. I heard a few guys today talk about who have went to the game, who said it was probably somewhere close to 60-40. I think they said 70-30. But to be able to do that in Seattle it's just dope. It feels like a special year in every regard. For a third string to be able to go up there with that kind of composure, that kind of confidence, and be able to deliver, it feels like it was a way bigger victory than 21-13. I did the game live, did the play-by-play, and it was fun, man. It was just a lot of fun to be able to, there was even on the Bosa flag, I didn't even let myself get too riled up into it, just given the fact that I think I would have been way more upset if, like, I didn't have the confidence in winning the game. I felt like no matter what the refs did, no matter what, it's like I knew we were gonna win that game. That's just the way, my spirit goes sometimes. I feel like if, like, it would've I don't even wanna bring Garoppolo into it, but I would've been a lot more nervous with Garoppolo. It just had the feeling like that was our game. It's inevitable. We came to take it. We did just that. And it's just amazing, man. It's, kinda I could sound cliché so much about how much, how amazing it was for just all of it, man. Even the way they stepped out on the field. Um just this whole team just has a certain vibe to it that's like no other, and it's dope.
No, no, absolutely, man. And I gotta say, what's good to everyone that's in the chat right now. What's good, David McNew? He says, "Rest in peace to the Lambs." Faker Failfield made an appearance. Got
That's right.
Jesus in the building. Saludos, Jay. Niner gang. We got Sean Tuber.
Yee,
What's good?
yee.
Sandy Martinez. I hope all is well. What's good? Sandy Martinez says, "Merry Christmas to everyone. Same to you and yours." We got Brandon from the Forever Faithful podcast. He says, "What's up, family? What's good, man? How you guys doing?"
What up, my
Also,
man?
we got a first hot diggity dog. I appreciate you, Blue True, with that $5 super chat. Blue True says, "Congrats, NFC West champs. I got 5 on it." Absolutely.
Yeah. I got 5 on it.
Absolutely. Appreciate that. Man, when the 49ers won that game versus the Seahawks, like, what an up and down roller coaster season for the San Francisco 49ers, from starting your third string quarterback to the numerous amount of injuries that this team has basically overcome. It's been a long season. And, I think for the 49ers to overcome what they came in order to get to the NFC West Championship, obviously the division isn't great, right? We know the Rams have struggled, the Cardinals have struggled. The Seahawks, they played better than I think any of us thought they would. But the amount of injuries we went through, third string quarterback, as I mentioned before, I just think credit to Kyle Shanahan. And it's funny, it's a week to week league in the NFL. When this team was 3-4, everyone and their mama wanted Shanahan gone, right? Hey, let Shanahan go. Let D'Amico Ryans be the head coach. Remember that? Remember those conversations?
Oh
Or
yeah.
hey,
Oh yeah.
get Ken Dorsey to be the head coach. So it's
Hey,
funny how things can
hey,
change, man.
hey, I'm not afraid to admit it, man. I was stupid emotional when it was during that time, and I was one of those people like, "Hey, man, what the heck is going on? Not again, man. Get it together." Like, man,
Yeah,
I had enough of you, Shanahan. I'm done. It's so funny, man. I had someone on Twitter just a few days ago, man, like pulling up receipts from, a month or two ago, maybe 2 months ago, and I'm like, man, did this man really just, did he see it way back then and screenshot or like did he really dig it up? It was just hilarious to me, and before I could even respond, I was blocked. I was like, "Holy crap, I don't think I've been blocked by too many, I don't think I might have blocked maybe 1 or 2, and that was just when it was way out of pocket. But I try to
yeah,
never block. I hope I'm never blocked. Some people say, "Hey, if you're getting blocked, you're doing it right." I'm a different breed. Long story short, man, hey, if I say something wrong, I like to admit it, reflect, correct, and continue to keep pushing on. I'm faithful regardless of anybody's opinion. Love this team ever since I was a kid. So, it is what it is. Everybody got their own things and reasons why they like to poke and prod. But as long as the 49ers, hey man, winning solves a lot. And it's not only just the winning, but you could see the confidence in Shanahan. You could see it spread through the whole team. CMC probably got a lot to do with it. I'm sure we got some topics to touch on those kind of things. And
yeah, absolutely.
yeah, man. Hey, you know what? Um, hey, great job, Shanahan. And you know what? If one thing this season has taught me is, these people are human. These coaches, these people, all these guys are human. They're gonna make mistakes. They ain't never gonna be perfect. And so, I got to learn how to just rock with it regardless, unless it's something truly out of pocket.
Right. No, no, totally. And I think, this season it's just been a roller coaster season. It's been a lot of ups and downs. There's been a lot of disappointing moments, losing to Chicago, Denver, Atlanta, losing to KC, and then for this team to win 7 straight games. It's just been an incredible ride so far. Obviously, the NFC West championship, or excuse me, the NFC West division winner, that's one goal for us. Obviously, the ultimate goal is to bring home the 6th Lombardi, and obviously we're putting our best feet forward to that. I just want to give a shout out to Sandy Martinez. Appreciate you subscribing to the channel. And if you haven't, make sure you subscribe to Kelt's Chronicles, subscribe to Jay and the Bay, myself. We also have Bay Area Baller and Amin the Dreams YouTube links in the description of this video. Make sure you subscribe to them. And hey, why not subscribe to Straight Outta The Bay? This is a group that Kelt's Chronicles first started, developed, and I'm just happy to be a part of the ride. So it's cool. We're all 4 of us are from the Bay, straight out of the Bay. So the title of the channel and group is fitting. So huge shout out to you, Sandy Martinez. Appreciate you subscribing to the channel. David V also says, what's good? We got 49er Jeff in the building. What's good? How you doing? Appreciate everyone. We will be continuing to read comments throughout the stream. Also, we got 49ers Cutback. What's good? How you doing, man?
Hey.
Hopefully all is well, and hopefully you're not working too hard out there, man. Also, we have to talk about, of course, Brock Purdy, and dare I say, does this offense look better with Purdy over Jimmy Garoppolo? I know. Got to talk about Trey Lance. It's kind of unfair to the kid, but it kind of is what it is. This is the pros. It's going to be very interesting next training camp, the quarterback battle between, Brock Purdy and Trey Lance. But, let me ask you this, Kelts. Does this offense look better? Is it striving? Has it taken a step back with Purdy, or you think it's even better with Purdy compared to Jimmy? What do you think?
It's remarkable, man, to see. I don't even want to call him Mr. Relevant, man, but it's just remarkable to see someone picked last in the draft. And, we all see it. Kyle Shanahan, props to Kyle Shanahan for saying it. I've never had a rookie with this much composure, because that's exactly what he's doing on the field. He's calm, he's cool, he's composed. And when I really start looking at the details of what he does and really just fixating on the details, it's he like when he's extending plays, I see so many guys. It's hard to recognize what's coming at you. It all happens so fast, but for him to recognize the pressure is one thing, and then for him to know how to avoid the pressure is another thing. And then as he's avoiding pressure, it's like he's already locked in on like, okay, I need to go here, and this is what I'm gonna do. And I mean, these things are happening within seconds. So it's like he knows how to recognize the pressure, avoid the pressure, and then he already has an idea of what he wants to do, where he's gonna go, how he's gonna do it. And those things are huge. And I'll give one example, maybe not on, and there's only a couple of guys in the NFL that I see that do it with the quickness and the confidence that he does it. And Patrick Mahomes is one of those guys. I was watching a lot of quarterbacks this this week because we didn't have a game, and I just kept on watching. Hey, let me see how fast these guys are moving in the pocket. Let me see how they're recognizing, not just the throws of what they're making and what they're doing. It's like I was really paying attention, who knows how to avoid and get out of it. And a lot of people look at Purdy and Heineke and say, hey, they're similar. I look at Heineke and hey, he plays with heart. He's doing great, but he is just another example of a guy who kind of gets stuck in a spot. He'll kind of get stuck. He rolls out sometimes, but Purdy just does it so decisively with no hesitation, and it feels like he's making positive plays every other time. The best quarterback that I see doing that is Pat Mahomes. And I haven't looked at every single 32 and really dissected him, but at the same time, Purdy definitely looks better than Garoppolo, in my opinion, when it comes to that point. Someone put up, I believe it was Jack Hammer. He put up a play today of a play we ran a few years ago. It was the same exact play where he did the fake to the left. He did the fake to the, I think maybe right first. Or no, he did the fake to the left,
To the
and then he
left
did,
and then to the
and then he
right.
did the fake to the right, and then he hit over the middle. And a
Right.
few years back, Jimmy ran this same exact play. And it's just little details that make the difference in a field goal and a touchdown. But Jimmy did it real quick to the left, real quick to the right, and then quick to Kittle. Purdy, he like gave it a little more time. He smoothly like took a step forward toward Ray, faked it smoothly, went back the other way, took another step toward that way, faked it, and it let the play develop more to where instead of like Jimmy wound up completing a 10-yard play, a 10-yard pass to Kittle on that same exact play. Purdy was able to score a touchdown on it. And it's those little details that really, you know, turn drives into touchdowns and not field goals. And we've been seeing that from Purdy. I don't know what the numbers are, but it feels like we have a lot more, touchdowns. It feels like we're getting touchdowns and it's not field goal after field goal, man. So in the regards of being poised and executing and looking like a professional and a veteran, I feel like Purdy's better already.
Hey, there's no question. And for that specific play that you were talking about, for those that haven't seen it, just check out Jack Hammer on Twitter. He's also an excellent 49er content creator. I believe he writes for, I'm not even going to screw up the name of the newspaper, but I know he writes for a newspaper as well. So he's well connected within the 49er community.
Santa
Jack Hammer.
Rosa,
It
Santa
might
Rosa
be,
Press,
might
Santa
be
Rosa
something like
Press,
that.
Press Democratic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't exactly sure, but yeah, Jack Hammer does great work. But that play that you illustrated, obviously, the two different defenses, obviously, they play a part. But
Yeah.
when you said that, I just thought Jimmy looks like the rookie.
Yeah. He
That
looked,
play, like real talk. Jimmy
yeah.
looks like he had his feet were moving real fast, like he was scared of the rush, the throw.
He
Like
wanted,
he didn't sell the fake. Like he
yep.
was just like, I love to say Jimmy looked to the left, he looked to the right. But he did it so fast where you have to sell the fake, and he didn't even do that. And we're talking about a quarterback in Jimmy who's been in the league, what, eight plus years. He's had over 50 starts in the NFL. Like he looked like the rookie, and Brock looked poised. He looked confident. Like and he sold the fake, and that could be part of the reason why Kittle was so wide open and he was able to score on that play. So I love that you brought that play up because it kind of illustrates what Brock Purdy brings to the position. And having started 48 games in college, having setting all types of records at ISU, like he's ready for the moment. It wasn't too big.
Yeah.
I think we can safely say that Brock Purdy deserved to be drafted earlier than the 7th round. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, he's got tons of weapons around him, but I mean, it's Brock Purdy has played pretty well. A wise man once said, "You never have a second chance to make a first impression," and Brock Purdy has played really well. And I think the offense is better with Brock. Now, has he thrown technically an interception in 3 straight games? Yeah, right. I know one of them got called back. I think actually 2 got called back due to penalty. But I think it's the plays he does make, right? Like, he's able to escape the pocket. Jimmy wants to be mobile, but he's not. Brock Purdy can escape the pocket. He can, by him escaping the pocket, he's able to give his receivers more time to get open. And Brock's not afraid to throw the ball down the field. So that's one thing that's another level, another dimension to this offense he can bring, especially since him being mobile. So I would have to agree. I think the offense is better with Brock right now. And I would love to hear what the chat feels and I think this was the first year, or excuse me, the first 2-game stretch that the 49ers offense scored 30 straight points, I believe. And I'm not talking about the Seattle game, I'm talking about the 2 previous games. So, and they did that with 3rd-string quarterback, Mr. Irrelevant, Brock Purdy. So
In his first ever playing time. Like, man, it sounds like it's made up, man. It sounds like it's already half of the movie, man. I know it's not fully written. Hey, man, let's go.
yeah, I mean, it's pretty amazing to see what he's doing. Obviously, he has a ton of talent around him. And that's one question that I wanted to bring up as well. The 49ers obviously got the brakes beat off of them against KC, right? And then all of a sudden we win 7 straight games. So I'd love to get your thoughts, man. Who do you think was the catalyst for the 7-game win streak? It could be coach, it could be an entire unit, or it could be a specific player. What are your thoughts?
I'm going completely outside of the box, and I'm gonna pick someone in something that I highly doubt. Maybe a good 1% might think of it, but um, the Kansas City game, it's reminiscent. I don't think we got whooped on like that just because it was Kansas City. It was reminiscent to what the Cardinals did to us last year with Colt McCoy. I think it was just that time of season where they caught us at the right time. And, we were more banged up. We were figuring stuff out. It was CMC's first game. We were trying to integrate him. Hey, I'm going to say the catalyst was the Kansas City Chiefs. It was Mahomes. I'm saying the catalyst is that was like a good wake up call. I think this defense took that to heart, took it to pride. Like, hold on a minute. That was not us. They caught us on bad timing. People can make a big deal out of it. Oh my God, look, they ain't that great of a D, yada, yada, yada. Kavarius got burnt, blah, 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 blah. Hey, no doubt, Pat Mahomes is amazing. Kansas City, they're a great team, great coaching, all of it. But I think that was just a huge wake-up call. I could pick the obvious and say CMC with no doubt. This could go down as potentially one of the greatest trades in San Francisco 49er history. We've won every time he has been a full participant since in practice. We're on a 7-game win streak. And this offense the past couple weeks has been CMC, and more CMC, and I'm not mad at it. Hey, if Jordan Mason gets more carries, let's go. If he doesn't, let's go. I'm kind of at that point in time where it's like, hey, it's all gas, no brakes. Shanahan has developed a lot more trust. The Mikos, just the whole organization, up and down, from the coaches to the players. People are stepping up, like Ridgeway, Givens, a lot of these guys. Menahue, I don't think gets enough credit for what he does. Samson, the whole front, even the back end. You got Hufanga and Gibson, and I could just rattle off every starter on defense and dang their offense. Hey, even Mike McGlinchey has been doing better the past few weeks. You know, what else, man? Banks. You know, just all of it, man. Everything is clicking, and it's taking everything to click. We needed Garoppolo during that stretch. He played arguably his best football during you know that those 4 games. What up, Brian? Yee. Yeah, man, he arguably played, you know, some of his best ball. Jimmy Garoppolo, man. And so I think didn't he wind up going, I think, 4 straight games without throwing a pick? Like that was the first time in his career, or
Yeah.
it was heading toward 4 games, maybe. So I mean
Yes.
it's taken the whole 53-man roster, but the obvious is CMC. But I'm gonna give it up to Kansas City for, you know, lighting that fire and and this defense being like, hold on a minute, no Moss. We are dogs. That was not us. And man, we were in that game. We were in that game. It got blown up toward the end, but you know, um, yeah, man, I'm gonna give it to KC. Well done, KC, for mollywopping us. It's led to 7 straight victories, and it woke up a giant.
I like your out of the box thinking right there. I didn't know where you were going to go with that answer, but I like that, man. I like that. I gotta say, what's good? We got a lot of people in the chat. Appreciate everyone coming through. We got the platform 246. We got Shifty's 49er talk. John. We got I think we have Ryan. Yep, Ryan G. Hensley. Appreciate you coming through. Rick Diaz. Appreciate everyone coming through. If you guys are excited about the 49ers winning the NFC West division, make sure you smash that like button and feel free to subscribe. Got to ask you a quick question. I kind of answered this before, but love to get your thoughts. Is there a reasonable question for me to ask you that the 49ers have quarterback competition this offseason, and 49er Jeff wants to know as well? Is that a legit question, or are we just kidding ourselves?
It absolutely is a legitimate question, but it has more to do with how is the season going to end? How are these next games? Are because a lot of people are saying, hey, once they get enough film, they're going to be able to figure out Purdy. Once they do that, they possibly could shut him down. I've seen some things that Purdy does that it doesn't matter how much film you got, how much game planning you got, when you have certain intangibles like reading coverages and reading pressure and knowing. That's the biggest difference between Garoppolo and Purdy, in my opinion, is when like there's times where Purdy, well, a lot of times Jimmy would be stuck, but even when he would get out, it's like, what do I do now? It feels like Purdy's got all that locked in. And those are things you can't really game plan for, is just those intangibles on extending, and not only extending, but making positive plays or throwing the ball away, not throwing the dumb interception. So, hey, he definitely looks more poised. Oh yeah, the comments will pull up if you just with that one you just hit, that button you hit, Jay. All right. And then it depends if you want to use it or not. But yeah, man, I think there is a competition. I think because I think we're gonna go deep. And then once we go deep, hey man, if Purdy plays good in the playoffs, I think it all depends on the playoffs. If he does really well in the playoffs, there absolutely is. If he kind of shows, oh man, the moment got too big, then it's like, all right, hey, you know. So we're gonna see how it pans out, man. I think it's nothing but good. I think it's nothing but good for Trey, nothing but good for Brock, and to even have this discussion with Brock in it it's dope. It is dope, man. So I'm all for it. Hey, anything to make the team better, let's go.
Hey, I love your thoughts on that. I love your positive thinking on that, that this is good for Trey. It's going to push Trey. It's going to push Trey to be better. And I got to be real. Like, he's going to be on a short leash next season. If he comes out the gate, he struggles. You know, there's going to be fans yelling out BP. And if the 49ers are able to win the Super Bowl with Brock Purdy under center, oh, man, that's a great problem to have. I'll take that any day. But yeah, it's crazy to think that Mr. Irrelevant player, like if you look at the history of Mr. Irrelevant players, there are not too many quarterbacks or even any guys that actually make the active roster let
Yep.
alone are playing well on a team, or could be the reason for a team to be playing well. Like usually they're either special teams guys, or it's rare that it's a like a position player. But yeah, so it's incredible for Brock Purdy to be playing so well. But yes, to answer 49er Jeff's question, there will be competition this season at the quarterback spot. I think it's quite clear that Trey Lance will not be given the job. I would say this though, I think Brock Purdy is going to have to be like the clear cut favorite. Like I feel like he's almost going to have to be twice as good as Trey, because we've invested so much in Trey that we
Yeah.
want to just give him the job, which I totally understand. But I think Brock's going to have to be, that much better than Trey in order to start week one, barring injury. And to answer the previous question about, who was the catalyst behind, the 49ers 7-game win streak, I mean, I could go a lot of ways. I mean, as you mentioned, John Lynch trading for CMC. I mean, obviously, looking back on that trade, it's a lot of draft capital for a running back, but he isn't like just a typical running back. I mean, the guy can do it all on the field. He is, in my opinion, the 49ers' best offensive player. And then when you look at Deebo Samuel getting hurt, I mean, obviously CMC's value, skyrockets, right? Can you imagine this offense without Debo, CMC, Elijah Mitchell? Like, I just don't think we would be able to do the same things that we're doing offensively. But I mean, I'm gonna go with CMC. I mean, just everything he does for this offense. We're 7-0 since he's been starting with us, and we're just a much better offense with him in the lineup. It's another target for BP to throw to. We can also hand him the ball 25 plus times. Hopefully, we don't do that in the regular season. Hopefully, we give Jordan Mason some more run, but got to give credit to CMC. And I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to say the 49ers defense, because when Emmanuel Mosley got hurt, I did not think we would still be this good. Demo Lenore has stepped up, obviously getting Armstead back. We know what Bosa can do. Drake Jackson has made some plays. Talk about Drake Greenlaw. I mean, this defense is just, he could be like the most improved player in the NFL, I think, Drake Greenlaw. He should be a Pro Bowler. I know he didn't make the first team, but, this defense has been impeccable, down the stretch. And I think we're peaking at the right time.
Yeah, Drake Greenlaw, he needs to get some more recognition, like you said. I don't know the exact numbers on the Pro Bowl and all that, but I know there's seniority in there when you get when guys have been there and done that and things like that. But yeah, man, he definitely needs to be up there because his play has been proof of that. What up, John? Yee.
Absolutely, yeah. And John says the offense is better with Purdy, but not by much. Our offense for sure is better with CMC 7-0 since his acquisition. Absolutely. And I'm glad that it wasn't just a 1-year rental with CMC. We got him, I think, for the next 3 seasons. So I think that's money well spent. Obviously, the 49ers have made, draft picks in the 3rd round. TDP, I mean, the book is still out on him, but he hasn't really worked out so far. We know Trey Sermon didn't work out. So I definitely understand why people were, not sure about that trade. Like, did we give up too much draft capital? But I mean, look at me now, right? Look at what he's doing for us now. I mean, without him, I don't see us going 7-0 without CMC. Let's be real. But yeah,
I remember a lot of people, there's a lot of people like F them picks.
right.
And they were right. Hey, my initial feeling and thoughts about it was, man, are you serious? We actually did it. We pulled it off. Like, let's go. I started, I try not to dive too far into things because that could kind of just ruin the moment. But it was like on the surface, it was like, man, we're good. We're good with how we got them. Like you just alluded to, the years, it's all good. It is all good, man. And we got don't we still have a lot of draft picks in the 3rd, 4th, and
Yeah.
5th? And
I think we
that's our
still have
bread.
at least like 7 picks. They're all like day 2 and day 3 picks. And,
That's our,
if
That's our bread and butter. That's our
Right.
bread and butter right there. That's our Hufungas and our Kittles and our Greenlaws, and that's where we hit on. So, hey, let's keep it going. And then
No, absolutely.
we still got a good amount of people that haven't even seen the field yet. Whether it's McCrary Ball, I think
Mhm.
Zakale is still gonna wind up being a player. Who knows? Maybe it's gonna be Zakale, and maybe they know about McGlinchey, and maybe they know eventually someone's gonna slide over. And hey, man, it just keeps on coming. It reminds me, I think I've heard you say it quite a few times, embarrassment of riches.
Absolutely, man. The talent galore. I like what Sandy says here. I like Brock Purdy, but I'm still a Trey Lance fan. You can like both players. I
Same.
mean,
Yes, you
when
can.
both of those players play well, it's a benefit to the Niners. So that goes for anyone wearing the red and gold. I like what
Hey,
Brian says here. He says, when Tabor Pepper doesn't have a penalty, we're world beaters. I appreciate that, Brian.
hey, kickers are people too. Kickers are people too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Brian also says that Ray Ray is getting better. Yeah, Ray McLeod, like he's not getting the touchdowns yet on special teams, but at least he's making positive plays. Like he'll get 15, 20 yards a pop on a punt return, or he'll get the team to like the 35 to 40-yard line on a kickoff return. Like all that adds up. So yeah, Ray Ray's doing a good job, as well as the special teams coordinator and things like that. Gotta ask you, who are your offensive and defensive game balls? For the last game against Seattle.
Offense. Uh, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna give it to Kittle just because. Hey, man, Kittle's been getting a bad rap as far as he's getting older and maybe injuries, this, that, and the other, and then we see him have a game, versus the Cardinals. And then we see him come through and have this kind of a game, with 2 more touchdowns versus the Seahawks to clinch the division. And then on defense, man, I keep on seeing the hit of Greenlaw, but then I have to give it to Mooney Ward, man. I gotta give it to Mooney Ward. I love watching that kind of football. It reminds me of Jerry Rice and Deion Sanders back in the day. It reminds me of, just when you see 2 great players, and I know these guys aren't the caliber. I know Mooney Ward and DK Metcalf isn't the caliber of Jerry Rice and Deion. But when I see that kind of competition meet up, I love it. I love to see the best on the best, especially when it's my team that's getting the better of it. So man, the game balls for me is going to be Kittle and it's going to be Mooney.
Hey man, excellent answers. And Kittle had a don't forget who I am game. Like see what I
Turn
could
back
do
the
when
clock.
exactly,
Turn
man.
back the
See
clock.
see what I could do when they actually get me the ball, man. And it's good to see that BP is hitting Kittle. And yeah, he had a fantastic game. I think the game in 2021 against the Seahawks, I think he had a similar game where it was like 2 touchdown catches. So I think he was a guy that I thought before the game needed to step up, or at least needed to be targeted more in the offense, especially in Deebo Samuel's absence. But my offensive game ball, I'm gonna give it to BP Brock Purdy. I mean, going on the road in a hostile environment, he's banged up. It's on a Thursday night. It's a short week. To go into that hostile environment, we know what the Seattle Seahawks are about. They might not be, Super Bowl contenders, but their fans, by the way, their fans cheer for their team. They stand up the entire game. You couldn't tell, right? So that was definitely a hostile environment for him to go into. And I thought he played very well. Where there are some plays, did he make a few throws that the defenders, hey, they didn't catch the ball? Well, that's going to happen in every game, I think. But I just like Brock's poise, and I just like that. He doesn't seem jitterish in the pocket, right? It doesn't matter if the blitz is coming to him or not. You know, he looked like he's been here before. That's what it looked like. So, got to give praise to him, and he had 2 touchdown passes. So. I'm continuing to like what I see from Brock and his ability to make plays on the run. Defensively, I mean, where I could go anywhere from here. Demo Lenore was a beast. He led the team in tackles. Mooney Ward continued. Did y'all see Mooney Ward
Oh,
against DK Metcalf, like going at it every
ah,
play, matching
freaking love.
DK's physicality, and DK probably outweighs what Mooney Ward by at least 20 to 25 pounds, maybe 30 pounds. So
Yep.
also he's much taller than him as well. So DK, he was quiet. The only time they really saw him on the sideline was when he got caught with that taunting penalty against Greenlaw, and he acted like he was surprised by that. But
Yeah.
yeah, the second, I'm gonna give it up to the secondary, the defense. The entire secondary played very well. Huff was out there making plays. I love that Demo Lenore and Mooney Ward are physical and they're not afraid to tackle. So I'm gonna give my defensive game ball to the secondary. And feel free, you're in the chat right now. Feel free to give your game ball for the game against the Seattle Seahawks, and not only to win the division and clinch the NFC West playoff berth. So a huge game from everyone, and yeah, man, can't wait to. I'm looking forward to the next game against Washington, which will be an interesting game. Quick thoughts: were you able? Did you see the game against the Commanders and the Giants? What was that Sunday Night Football? I think.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it, but I did want to acknowledge the chat real quick and just let
Sure.
everybody know, hey, that we are streaming on both channels. So, hey, man, if you like what you see, this thing that we got going on and all that, if you know me, you probably know Jay, but just by chance, if you don't, hey, you can leave my channel, go shoot that man some love, go shoot him a sub and all that good stuff. And hopefully vice versa. That's why we're doing this thing. We're trying to just spread all the love, man, get more eyes on not just us, but the faithful, the community, and keep this thing rolling right. Also, I did want to mention a few content creators in the chat. I seen Shifty in there. Go shoot Shifty a sub. We also seen Ryan G. Hensley. I'm going to be on his channel tomorrow morning. We do it on Tuesdays. Ryan G. Hensley, another content creator. Go check him out. He has a morning show, I believe, all week long. So go show him some love. Yeah, man, that's at the beginning, middle, and end of the day. I'm all about it, all about love. So, yeah, man. So the game, and we appreciate y'all at the same time. Yee. Um,
Absolutely.
the game. I seen a little bit of it. Like I said, I was watching, and one of the things that I really wanted to pay attention to was just pay attention to other quarterbacks and see, because Brock Purdy looks so calm and composed, and not only calm and composed, and it makes a massive difference just even having composure, but to be able to extend plays and be able to do things. So I'm really watching these other quarterbacks like, hey, am I too hyped up on Purdy? Hey, let me see how these guys are moving in the pocket. Let me see when pressure comes, what they're doing in this. And man, almost every quarterback I was watching, bro, was like, this man Purdy was looking better and better. And I mean, I'm watching Burrows, and I know the arm has a lot to do with it, but I'm just watching what he's doing in the pocket, especially when pressure comes, because you could be the best quarterback in the world, and if you don't know how to deal with pressure, that's what could end the season. So, to your point about the game, yeah, man, I checked a little bit of it out, but I didn't watch enough to give like a real, good opinion on it. Man, it looked like the Commanders were lightweight supposed to win that game. There were some questionable calls. The NFL's been getting a little wishy washy with that, man. It's especially in our game with Bosa, and then yeah, man. So yeah, who knows? Who knows what's going on right now?
Yeah, I watched as much of the game as I could, but my takeaways from Washington was obviously they got a ferocious defensive line. Obviously, all of their defensive linemen are like former first round picks.
Yep.
But other than that, the offense didn't really do anything for me. I know they got Scary Terry. They got a good rookie out of there. Also, I think his last name's Dotson. They got
Yep.
Curtis Samuel. They have weapons on the outside for sure. I'm not sure if Heineke is the guy to really take them where they want to go. But there's no doubt they're still in contention for the playoffs in the NFC East. But I wasn't impressed with what I saw. I don't think they'll be able to do much to us offensively.
Yeah,
Now,
versus
their
RD.
defense, say it
Versus
again.
RD. I said
Yeah,
versus
versus
RD.
RD.
Hey, you know,
I just don't
hey,
see
hey,
them. Yeah,
nah, nah.
I don't think they'll score more than 17 points. I just don't see it.
Nope.
I think Heineke is okay, but I don't think he'll be a franchise quarterback. So yeah, I wasn't too impressed. Now, your man Ryan Hensley had an excellent question. He says, besides the Eagles, who worries y'all the most? The Vikings, Bucks, Cowboys, Giants. Also need Jay Rich on the channel. Hey, I'd love to come on the channel. Let me answer that first. The Vikings, not really concerned about. I just don't fear Captain Kirk. Hats off, credit to the Vikings, though. They were down 33-0, and they still continued to play against the Colts, and they ended up winning that game. So obviously that's incredible victory for them. But I'm not really concerned about the Vikings. Not concerned about the Cowboys. Not concerned about Dak. Just they're talented, but just Dak doesn't do anything for them. So out of those four teams, I would say none of them really worry me. Philly is definitely a problem, especially if Jalen Hurts is healthy in the playoffs. Philly could be a problem. What say you, Kelts?
You know what? I always go outside the box, and not on purpose, or most of the times I do, but in a weird way, the Giants, man. Only because it's like, how do I really explain this? Like sometimes it's that underdog mentality of the team that's not supposed to, that sometimes, does something, and like you said about the Vikings, I'm really not worried about Kirk Cousins and even the Bucks just do not look good. We just beat the Bucks down. I seen what we did last year to the Cowboys with a lesser team, in my opinion. I feel like we had a little bit less of a team, it feels like our team is better this year. And like you said, Dak, like he looks, he might put up great stats, but it just seems like there's something maybe with the IQ, or there's a little bit of a skittish feeling too. Who knows? Maybe it's the injury that he suffered. Maybe it's the injuries that he suffered. But none of those teams, I don't really worry about them too much. But I say the Giants because they just have more of an underdog feel, and sometimes you got to watch out for those ones.
Right. Yeah. There's no doubt that the Washington. They're a team that is in playoff contention, so you definitely can't take them lightly. But I just feel like our defense should be able to take care of them. They do love to run the ball. They got a dual running back threat, so that'll be interesting to see. But yeah, it's definitely going to be the battle of the offensive and defensive lines for sure. Now, Bay Area baller, unfortunately, he could not be with us tonight, but we wish him well. But he did have some thoughts on the Washington Commanders, and let's see what Bay Area baller had to say about the upcoming game.
What's up, fellas? Shout out to the Straight Outta The Bay crew. Sorry I couldn't make it tonight, but I want to talk about this Washington Commander game coming up. I watched them play the Giants last night, and one thing I noticed is Heineke will give his receivers a chance to make a play on the ball. He launched one up to Jahan Dotson, who came down with it. Jahan Dotson's a talented rookie wide receiver out of Penn State. We know they have Terry McLaurin, so our DBs need to be on point, avoid the pass interference calls, because Heineke will give his receivers a shot to make a play on the ball deep down the field. So DBs, be on point. The other thing I wanted to mention is the Commanders want to be a run-first team. They want to run the ball with Brian Robinson, with Gibson. So we know we got the best run defense in the NFL. So just continue to do more of that. And like I said, play the deep ball well, because Heineke's going to take some shots. Those are a couple keys to the game. Hey, fellas, I know you're going to kill it tonight. Thanks for holding it down. Can't wait to talk to y'all soon.
All right, so that was Bay Area baller. If you haven't heard of him, he also has his own YouTube channel. Make sure you check him out. The link to the description of his channel is in the description. Also, he is one of 4 members of Straight Out of the Bay. So he will be with us hopefully next Monday, as well as Amin the Dream. Now, Bay Area Baller did mention keys to the game. Can you think of one key to victory for the 49ers versus Washington game, which will be on Christmas Eve?
Man, it's one of the most basic keys, or especially for us. Just don't beat ourselves. Don't beat ourselves, whether it be turnovers, penalties. Yeah, just those main basics right there. Take care of the ball. Try to stay. Hey, and Bay Area was just touching on it. Don't get the PI on the deep passes. Just don't be our worst enemy. Don't beat ourselves. We arguably have the best roster in the NFL. So if we stick to the basics, take care of that, and which we have been of late, hey, man, it should be last week or the 2 weeks before last week. I thought they potentially could be blowouts, and they were. Last week, I thought it was going to be a close game. It had the potential to be a blowout. It wasn't, but it wound up being a close game. I feel like this coming up game could be another freaking blowout as long as we stick to the basics. Don't turn the ball over, no penalty or limited penalties, and we're all good.
Hey, absolutely, man. Great insight on that. And I would add one of my keys to victory is just up front. This is going to be a very interesting battle going up against four former first round draft picks. I don't think Chase Young will play. I think he's still rehabbing from the torn ACL, so I don't think we'll have to worry about him. But establishing the line of scrimmage, being able to run the ball effectively, I think that's going to be key in this game. So 49ers offensive line in particular definitely has to win up front. So that would be one of my keys to the game. Got to establish that line of scrimmage and, hey, beat the guy in front of you. That's what football comes down to. Gotta say, what's good? We have G9 Garage in the house. Appreciate you for coming in to the stream tonight. Bryant Cope says, Mitch Wisnowski gets my game ball. He was punting and keeping the Seahawks back. Absolutely. And we don't talk about special teams enough. We only really talk about it when they do something wrong or there's a penalty or something. So obviously it's great to give guys props when they perform and they do well. Appreciate that, David McNew. Going to my channel, hit the like button and left a comment or two. And yeah, do the same on Kelts Chronicles. And if you guys have time, feel free to check out Straight Outta The Bay, the YouTube channel. Feel free to subscribe there as well. Let's see. Sandy says, let me pull that comment up. Sandy says, good night, guys. By the way, I am the daughter of Niner Cygnus. All right. Appreciate you for coming through. Yeah, didn't know that.
Okay. Now I understand. I could have swore earlier she said something about knowing her dad. I was like, man, is he a football player? Or
right.
I was like, hey, maybe I do know him. I definitely know your dad. That's what's up. Blessings to you and the fam, and yeah, thank you for coming through.
Absolutely. A huge shout out to Niner Sickness. We all know what he does in this YouTube community. Man, great content creator. Always good to collab with him and hear from him about the 49ers. We got to get into, we're coming up to an hour on the show, but a Straight Outta The Bay tradition is to do our game picks. So I wanted to get into those now. So for the first game, let's see. Hold on one second. I think the first game, I forgot to put the banner up, but the first game, it will be the Seahawks versus the Chiefs. Who you got in that game, Kelts?
Yeah, man, I got the Chiefs. In this one. It's going to be in Seattle, huh? Or is it? I'm not
that's sure. A great question. Let me double check. Let me look real quick.
Regardless, I'm just curious to know where it is. Regardless, I still got KC on it. Yeah, let me get my pen ready too.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. I think obviously the Chiefs have an advantage. I picked this game because obviously the Seahawks are still trying to get into the playoffs. Obviously, they're probably going to be similar to the teams in the NFC East who are trying to get those final spots for the playoffs. So obviously, it'll be fun to see the Chiefs beat the Seahawks. But yeah, I think the Chiefs will definitely win that game. I would say. I think they definitely have an advantage for obvious reasons. So The next game we're getting into, whoo, man, this is one of, and hopefully Jalen Hurts plays, but we've got the Eagles taking on the Cowboys. And I don't know if everyone knows, but Jalen Hurts, I think he has a shoulder sprain. So I think it's up in the air if he'll be able to play. But who do you have if Jalen doesn't play? Who do you have? The Eagles versus the Cowboys, and the Eagles have only lost one game so far this year.
Yeah, I think the Eagles, even if they do go to, man, I don't want to mess his last name up. Gardner, what's his name?
Minshew?
Minshew. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Even if they go to Minshew, hey man, look at this. Man, well, both. I'm looking at the Eagles defense and how it feels like they've been much more consistent. The Dallas defense have shown times where they could be good, but then they just get, and then they just, they get 40 put up on them by the Jaguars. I know there was a defensive score and whatnot, but man, I got more faith in the Eagles. And I hate the Cowboys at the same time. So if ever there's a time I cannot pick the Cowboys, I'm going to take the Eagles, even with a backup. We've seen what Brock could do in those same scenarios, so I'm taking the Eagles.
Man, it sucks that Jalen got hurt because this is, one of the best games I think this week by far. You got the NFC East rivalry. Obviously, the Eagles, they've been, damn near perfect. And this game will be in Dallas. But I'm going to.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I mean, can I take the Cowboys? It's kind of hard to want to root for the Cowboys. I mean, I'm not rooting for either team, but
they could easily win it. I mean, hey,
they could,
easily.
Especially if Jalen is hurt and Micah Parsons is able to wreak havoc on that Philly offensive line. Like, I think I'm going to take Philly. I'm going to take Philly. I think it'll be a close game, but yeah, I'm going to take the Eagles to beat.
That's funny. I already had it written in for you too.
And you're like, there's no way he's gonna take the Cowboys. That's funny. Let's get into the next game. We've got the LA Superchargers, or as one famous man said, "Go Chargers,
Chargers, go."
Arnold. So Chargers versus the Colts. I think I'll go first on this one. Obviously, the Colts. I mean, this game will be in Indianapolis. It's going to be on Monday Night Football prime time. But it's crazy that Matt Ryan has been a part of two of the worst losses we've seen in the last 10 years, right? Giving up huge leads to the Patriots in the Super Bowl, then giving up a huge lead to the Vikings. What team is really going to come out, as far as the Indianapolis Colts? Will they be shell-shocked? Will they have, obviously they got Jeff Saturday as their head coach. But I think the Chargers, I'm going to lean on the Chargers to win. And I think, obviously, I'd rather have Justin Herbert over Matt Ryan. And that's my thinking in that. Who do you have? Chargers versus Colts in Indianapolis.
Go Chargers, go. Yeah, I feel like getting the chopper, or however he says it. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm rolling with Arnold. I'm rolling with Arnold. Yeah, we definitely got to get that. That sound bite. Sure. Yeah, I'm rolling with Arnold Schwarzenegger on this one, man. I'm gonna take the Chargers. And yeah, man, you know what? Maybe in the background we'll pick a couple more games or something, just to see if we could create some separation. But hey, man, we all have the same picks out of me, you, and Bay Area Baller, man. So we're all thinking the same way. I'm sure that one of these games, just it feels like the way the NFL goes. Yeah, one or two, you just never freaking know in this league, man. But we don't have Amin's picks yet, but Amin is leading the second half at 8-2. Us three are at 6-4. Yeah, man,
Okay.
I messed up last week, but yeah, man, we're eventually. We still don't know yet. Hey, this is still a new show. We're still
Yeah.
brainstorming, so eventually we might do something fun with these picks. Maybe get some kind of a trophy, or maybe someone got to do push-ups online or something. I don't know, but
Nah, exactly.
yeah, we're gonna get creative with it for sure. And you guys are always welcome to do the picks with us, man. Oh, hey, I did want
Absolutely.
if we don't have any more topics, I'm not sure, typically this is toward the end of the show, but I did want to talk about or you know, just talk about the playoffs and who do you think I just wanted to ask you, who do you think we will wind up seeing in the wild card round? It looks like it's almost for sure. I mean, it's like a 98% chance we're not going to get the number 1 pick. I think
Right.
Philly would have to lose out, we would have to win, and it just feels like that might not happen. I was looking through all the teams, who could potentially. I think right now we're number 3, so if we're number 3, it looks like we're going to be facing the 6th seed, right? If we're stuck at 3, then we'd face the 6th. Right now, it's I believe the New York Giants, but it
Right.
could flip flop. I just when I kept on looking at them, I've seen everybody who the Giants are about to face. I've seen everybody. I looked at majority of the teams who's left on their schedule, and I got a feeling about the Lions. I got a feeling that the Lions can sneak up in there, and then there's still no telling, what could happen with the Buccaneers, and the Panthers are
Right.
right behind them. I believe the Saints are right behind them. So it's going
Yeah.
to get thick. It's going to get thick and it's going to get wild these last couple weeks. But just to talk about the Niners, it would not surprise me to see the Lions pull off a couple of victories and maybe the Commanders maybe lose a couple. Um, yeah, man. So and then even after that, it's looking like we could face. And then if it is where it is, we could face either. It wouldn't surprise me to see us face the Giants and then the Cowboys again as well, which to me, it just feels like if we do face the Giants, it's going to be super reminiscent of watching some of those older games with Lawrence Taylor and Joe Montana
Mm.
and, the late 80s and the early 90s. And of course, the Dallas Cowboys like last year, just that 90s vibe. It feels like there's just a lot of 90s vibes. Kind of like last year, with the Packers and Cowboys. But I just wanted to get your thoughts on who do you think we might face? And yeah, man, assuming that we do continue to win the first playoff game, how do you think it's going to kind of pan out?
Man, it could go in a lot of different ways. I mean, we could end up getting that number 2 seed, and that would secure, at least 2 home playoff games. Of course, if we win the first one, but there's still a lot of games to be played. You look at the NFC East. A lot of the teams, I think, what 3 out of the 4 teams are, neck and neck as far as seeding wise. You look at the terrible NFC South, like they're probably going to end the year with no team being over 500, so that's going to be weird to see. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm not 100% sure who will play. Honestly, I don't think we're not going to play Philly in the first round. I don't think any team outside of Philly that really concerns me. I know Ryan had a great question about that earlier, but no team outside of Philly really concerns me. Will the games be close? Yeah, but I just feel like we are the most talented team. We're peaking at the right moment. And I don't really fear any team. And I think we match up well with Philly, and I welcome that matchup if we're able to meet in the playoffs. So
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, man, I had to get your quick thoughts on that. There was something else I was thinking of, but it left my mind.
yeah, I think as far as our topics, I think we talked about pretty much everything we were going to. We didn't talk about John Lynch and Shanahan, executive and coach of the year, but maybe that's something we could get into next week with the fellas, because that's something that still will be relevant. So maybe we'll save that topic next week. But yeah, man, I mean, we've reached an hour, hell of a show. We'll welcome back Amin and Barry Baller next week. Huge shout out to everyone who participated in the stream today, whether you gave a super chat or whether you commented. Make sure you check out Kelts, Jay in the Bay, and Straight Out of the Bay. Also, Barry Baller and Amin the Dream YouTube channel. I appreciate everyone tuning in. It's always great to have people, commenting throughout the show and enjoying the show we put together. So I just want to say shout out to you guys. I appreciate everyone who watched. Kelps, did you have, any final words for the faithful, for the Niner Empire?
Nah, that's it, man. Hey, go check out Ryan G. Hensley's show tomorrow morning. And then after that, Wednesday, I will be on with Niner Sickness podcast, Beto, doing the last man standing where we do game picks throughout the NFL predictions. And it's also Peter from Niner, excuse me, Niner. Oh, wait, hold on. There's so many people. We got Brandon from Forever Faithful podcast, and we got Peter from Niner Fanatic podcast, Niner Sickness podcast, myself, Celts Chronicles. Yeah, so that's on Wednesday night, I believe at 7:00. Tomorrow morning, Ryan G. Hensley's at 8:30. Right, he starts at 8:00, and then he'll alternate guests. And so after that, and then on Friday, you could catch me and 49er First Takes. Aaron will be multi-streaming as well on both channels every Friday night at 7:00, I believe. No, 6. There's a lot of times, a lot of scheduling, but yeah, man, I'm trying to keep this, getting some consistent shows together. Hopefully, we could continue to multi-stream and, roll it on everybody's channel and, keep this thing going. 49er Faithful, we got a dope team. It's a special year with a special team. I hope for all of us, man, we see that 6th Lombardi. But hey, let's take it week by week. Let's enjoy it. Enjoy the ride. Hey, I'm not telling you what to do, but I hope y'all do. I hope y'all enjoy it, man, because it just feels like, this is a team to be proud of. And we got one of the best, we're worldwide. We got one of the best franchises in the world. So, yeah, man. Enjoy it. Have fun. Peace out. Stay blessed.
Absolutely. And I would just add, faithful, enjoy the ride, live in the moment. It's easy to talk about what's going to happen next year, but just, enjoy the ride, live in the moment. And hey, we are NFC West champions, and this is one of many goals that we have this season. So it's great to accomplish that now. But obviously, we know we have our eyes on that 6th Lombardi, and I think we have the talent in the locker room to get it done. So, we'll see what happens, but I appreciate again everyone for tuning in tonight, and we will see you guys next night. And it's been well. Everyone have a great night. Go Niners.
Yay. Peace out. Rise up. Yay. We getting it, boy.
What's good? You know who it is. It's your boy, Jay in the Bay.
Your baller back again. Smells like football season.
Yo. Whoa.